Oh, hey, how do you like that? It's card 23. The last card I drew for the previous episode was card 22, so we kind of have an interesting little sequence here. Card 23 is kind of fun because it has an Easter egg on it. It has a image on the bottom right-hand corner that's composed of the design of the card, which are the on the top left you see are three blue crescents, and they represent dumpling. That's how we think of them, and because it's a buffet, so each one of our figurative, kind of abstract. Well, it's not fully abstract, but you get the point. Geometric. Let's say geometric, just in case you're any art lovers out there. Don't want to throw you off. So this geometric design is, looks like blue dumplings to me. And the bottom right hand corner has a flying machine or a bird or something flying, a flying thing, because this card is about flying. Let me read you the card's title. The future is just the present with more flying. And the card asks you to invent a job that will exist 100 years from now. So let's close our eyes and we will transport ourselves into the future, 100 years. Okay. And here we are. Keep your eyes closed. And we're looking around. What's a job that we see that isn't, it's new, that exists now that we are in the year 2123? The first thing I came up with, I feel like I'm in a watery space, a kind of like Venice. And there are electric gondoliers. So there are gondolas that are kind of like, look like cell phones to me, that kind of hover over the water. And there are people who have Tron like outfits on, maybe with one of those gondolier hats on top, just for flair. And they're moving people around. Well, yeah, they're moving people around on those electric gondolas above the waters. Interesting. What did you think of? Let's go back to the present now. We'll close our eyes and transport ourselves back to 2023. All right, here we are. Now we can open our eyes. Now, whatever you thought of, think about where and how this work already exists today. I'll tell you how I would interpret my electric gondoliers. I'm thinking right now, I think I've been thinking about this just outside of our conversations. I've been thinking about energy and forms of energy and future forms of energy. The interesting thing about the future is, and I learned this years ago. The conversation with a that we had with a friend in Massachusetts, that we noticed that when you say blank of the future, like work of the future, it sounds positive. But when you say future of work, it sounds like trouble. And that is kind of true for all future things. And I've been noticing that over the years, that if you see someone talking about the future of something, it means that something is probably going to end soon. And when you see something of the future, so if you see work of the future, then that's it's going to be about innovation and that sort of thing. New stuff. Let's say. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. And if you see it happening, put it in the comments. If you see it not happening, also put it in the comments, because I'd be interested to know if people have the same experience as I do. So yeah, I'm thinking a lot about what the future of power and energy in a physical sense, in terms of how we power things and where we get energy from to operate stuff that we use all the time. And I've been thinking about that a lot. And so I think this electric cell phone gondola thing is somehow connected to that. I'll have to think some more as to how that relates to me, because I think there's something important in there. So if you do have something that you think, oh, well, I don't know, but that's really important, either think about it some more or talk to someone that you trust. This card continues, by the way. Now I'll just read it to you. After all, futurist cultural artifacts, from Albert Robidas's illustrations of future Parisian life to the animated series The Jetsons, have shown us that our imagined future is really just our present, with lots more flying machines. It's that flying car thing. Will we ever have flying cars? Look around YouTube, because I have. I found a great video with Al Roker talking about the Jetsons. Al Roker seems to be a Jetsons expert. I didn't know that. But he, in that video, he says we still don't have the flying cars, right? Because it seems like every time from the 1890s, when cars were first around, to present, we're always thinking there are going to be these flying cars that people are going to be driving around. And it's like we're always kind of promised them. And do look at YouTube, because there's some videos that kind of suggest that there may be some prototypes in the works. But unfortunately, there are no working models as far as I could tell. If you do have a working model of a flying car, please upload that video, and please put a link to that video in the comments. We said, love to see it. This card really takes advantage of the fact that we can't we don't know what the future holds. As much as we have the capacity to imagine a future, our minds can't, or at least very few of us. Maybe there are some people in this world whose minds can produce futures that are startlingly different from our present in meaningful ways. And again, if you have evidence of that, please put it in the chat or in the comment section, and I would love to see. I would love to hear what people think about that, because I just, you can't escape your present, because you only have your past experiences, right? And so that informs what the present is, and in turn, that informs what the future is. So it's a really neat thing when you're thinking about, like, what do I need to do? And this is why when I was thinking about energy and what the energy of the future, so you notice in that direction, that's positive. I said the future of energy, you're like, uh-oh, energy is done with, right? So the energy of the future, what's that going to be? What does that look like? And what that means is working in the present on technologies and on thinking about what the future holds in that regard. So that's the way that the present is really just the future without the flying cars. If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned for more, and head to lifespotluck.com to buy a pack of Life's Potluck Buffet cards. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Wait, I should have said we'll see you in the future.